And I'm back at it today with another video, and I've been getting a lot of questions, even more questions recently about my locks, so I decided it's only right that I do an updated lock Q&A. So I have a bunch of new questions that people have been asking that have never before been answered, so I'm here to give you guys the rundown on what all this is about. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. Just to start off with some background, I've had my locks since May 31st, 2017, so I'm going on about 20 months locked. I started my locks with the coil method and I have 103 locks. If you guys have other questions that aren't answered in this video, do look at my other lock Q&A, which I will tag in the upper right corner for you guys to check out if you missed it. But yeah, let's hop right into the new questions. So the first question I have is, do you have any lock inspirations? I do follow a bunch of lock pages on Instagram, but there are two girls who really stand out to me. One, I think her @name is like R Knight or something, but her locks are dope. I like that she has her ends combed out, so I'm thinking about doing that honestly, and I might make a video. So if y'all want to see that, then let me know in the comments below. But she's definitely one of my lock inspirations. And also another girl named Shakira. She just recently deleted her Instagram, but her locks are dope. Like, they're super long, they look really healthy, and her color is really vibrant. So both of their profiles will be tagged in the DB below. The second question I have is, do I plan on keeping my locks forever? No, definitely not forever, but definitely for another couple years. My goal is to like reach down here somewhere. Once I reach down here, I'll be content, but I feel like they'll get too long and I'll get tired of them, so I'm gonna end up cutting them off or combing them out. So we'll see, but definitely not forever. The third question I got is, do I plan on maintaining my dreads myself? I do in the future, but right now I'm still sticking to getting retwists done by professional locticians. I get my hair washed and conditioned every like 2 to 3 months because that's how long I wait for a retwist, but I have never washed or conditioned my hair myself. I always wait until I get my retwist. Hoping to teach myself how to do a retwist, so that video will definitely be coming soon if I do attempt to do that on myself, but I will eventually learn how to maintain my own locks over time, but right now, no. And the products that I use depends on whatever the loctician has on hand, so it really is never consistent. It really just depends on who I'm going to. So the next question I got is, do I have any recommendations for products when it comes to keeping your locks moisturized and also dealing with dry scalp? So I just recently discovered this new brand. It's called Oil Keepers, and they have a bunch of different oils and stuff, and I just ordered my own. I have this lemongrass oil stuff, and it smells really good, and it is very moisturizing and soothes my scalp a lot, so I would recommend this product. But if you don't feel like going out your way to order something, you can always go to CVS and pick up Alikay Naturals Lemongrass leave-in conditioner. Their conditioner is really good for moisturizing, and it also does soothe my head as well whenever I have really tight retwists. So those are the two products that I would recommend for keeping your locks moisturized and also to help with itchy or dry scalp. The next question I got is, what do I use to lay my edges? In mind, my edges are not laid right now. I've been on kind of a hair rest. I do use Eco Styler gel. I use the olive oil Eco Styler gel and a toothbrush and some water, and that's all I use to lay my edges. So the next question I got is, do my retwists ever hurt? Yes. Especially if I get it styled in like 2 braids or something that's really tight, my scalp will start to get red and get little bumps. So I do usually have to end up taking out the style a couple days earlier than I'd like to. But yes, my retwists do hurt on occasion, but not all the time. It really just depends on how tight your loctician is twisting. But I do like to give them a heads up that my scalp is sensitive, so don't go too crazy on the pulling and stuff. But yeah, they do hurt sometimes. Next question I got is, do I have one annoying lock? And the answer is definitely yes. They all kind of piss me off sometimes, but there's one in the back that really blows me. I think it's this one. Look at it, because there's curls in the middle, and you can literally like see the curl. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, so it blows me. Yeah, that's the one. That is. Okay, so the next question I got is, what is budding exactly, and what are the different stages of getting locks that you should be aware of? So budding is when your hair is first starting to lock and mat up. The budding occurs usually at the root of, you know, where the lock is started, because there's new growth and there's budding, which is like the new lock starting to lock up. As you can see, all these ripples in here is all different parts of the budding stage. Now they're locked now, but when they started to bud, they didn't really cooperate, so that's why it's all ripply like this, but that's what budding is. but there are definitely multiple stages of locks.
Well, as you can see in this picture here, you first have your new growth, and then you have your budding, which is where your hair is starting to become a lock, and then you have your actually fully matured locks. So those are the different parts of budding and locking up stages. If you're just now starting out, you can expect your hair to continuously be budding, but you won't really have fully matured locks until about a year in or so.
Those are the different stages that you should be aware of when you're entering your lock journey. So the next question I received is, when is the best time to dye your locks? I personally waited a whole year until my locks were mature to go ahead and bleach and dye them. That's what both of my locticians told me, is to wait at least a year and let your locks get mature and built up, because if you do it too early, the color won't come out right and it will affect the growth and maturing of your locks. So I would say wait a steady year, and if your locks are in a good place at that point, then I would go ahead and dye it, but don't do it too early. Wait it out. Another question I received is, if I get lock extensions, will they come out to look like yours? And the answer is probably no, because every set of locks looks completely different. No two set of locks are going to be the same, but you could get lock extensions and dye them so that the color is the same and the length is the same, but in the sense of the texture of the lock, not probably going to look the same, just because our hair textures are different, and that will affect the way that the lock actually matures. But it is possible to achieve some type of similarity. If you are thinking about getting lock extensions, make sure that you have a decent, well-qualified loctician who knows what they're doing, because I have seen so many people get lock extensions and they come out looking crazy. So definitely do your research before you go ahead and make that commitment. One question I received is the best method that I recommend to start your locks. Now, keeping in mind, I'm not a professional loctician. I've only had locks for so long, so I'm just learning everything myself. But I started with the coil method and it worked out pretty well for me, but I have seen successful methods of 2-strand twists as well. So I would say it depends on your hair type. Personally, because my hair type was less thick and just more curly, my loctician decided to do coils because that would go more so with my pattern. But if your hair is more thick and your hair coil is tighter, I would think that 2-strand twist is the way to go. But do your research, ask your locticians, see what they recommend, because I'm probably not qualified enough to tell you which one to do, but I use coils. If you have hair like mine, then I would recommend doing the coil method. My last question is, what is your daily maintenance routine? So I usually just go in and oil my scalp, and I like to palm roll any dreads in the front that are looking crazy, but I'm gonna do a in-depth video about that for you guys this week, so make sure you guys are subscribed and tapped in, turned on, so you guys know when that video is dropping. But I'm about to record that for you guys so y'all can see a more in-depth version of what I do on a daily basis to keep my locks looking neat and organized. So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to comment down below and drop them, and I will answer them as soon as I see them. But yeah, you guys, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody who asked me a question. Questions are answers for a lot of different people, so thank y'all for taking the time out your day to ask, and I appreciate you if you made it to the end. You're my mans. Thank you guys. I will see y'all soon. Bye.